Good morning, good morning. It's Roberta here with another car conversation. It is a beautiful, beautiful day. It's a weekend day. Just cruising to celebrate my friend's birthday. And yeah, let me tell you what's new this week. I didn't have a chance to record this yesterday, but yo, my ex-husband called me or asked to speak to me on a Thursday, and he was like, "Hey, can I chat with you real quick? Really appreciate if you can make the time." I'm like, "Sure." He's supposed to have the kids this weekend, and I said, "Well, how about later on, 3 o'clock, blah blah." Cool. So he calls or I call him, one of the two. We started talking about updates with the kids and those sort of things. And he said, "I want to tell you about my plans for the weekend." So I'm thinking, oh, maybe they're traveling somewhere, which is weird. You don't need to call me. Granted, my ex and I don't really talk at all. When I say don't talk, text message and email only, and only in regards to specific things for the kids, like confirming you're picking them up. Um, yeah, that's usually the extent of it. Recently, I had to call about hey, one is really acting up, but no phone calls, no touch base. It's just simply just confirming travel for visitation. You know, the day to day, I don't check in with him or ask, hey, I want to sign this one up and that one up. So we don't talk. So this request to have a phone call was a little out of the ordinary, a little unexpected. Sure. So he says, "I want to tell you about my plans for the weekend." Okay, cool. He said, "I want to let you know that I'm getting married." Shocker. So shocked. Um, yeah, I did not know what to say, really. But what I did say was, congratulations. But at the same time, I was not surprised. I don't find my ex to be a person who enjoys being alone. He definitely enjoys companionship, and that's all I'll say. He tells me they've been dating for over a year, and he would like to introduce her to our girls this coming weekend. Um, yeah. Hmm. One of the so many thoughts went through my mind, but I will tell you that at the forefront of it all I care about is my children and how they're going to react and how they respond. And I remember saying or thinking, thank goodness I told my 4-year-old earlier in the week that her and me and her father were no longer married. She was very shocked and upset about that. Sad, not upset, sad about it. But because we had separated 2 years ago, I had actually never sat down and had that conversation with her that I was no longer married to her father. And for some reason earlier in the week, they had been asking him if he had a girlfriend. I don't know where they got that from. And the little one said, "No, you can't have a girlfriend because you're married to mommy. And that would be cheating." She's 4. Where she gets this language from must be a bit of TV because it's not normal course of conversation in our house. So earlier in the week, I sat down, let her know that her father and I were no longer married, that we still loved her. But now at 4, she can understand the concept of marriage, where she could not have done that at the age of 2. So grateful that I had had that conversation because this news to them would have been really misaligned if she had been thinking that I was still married to her dad. Um, he said to me, I'm pretty sure you'll want to, chat with her and talk with her. And I paused for a second to say this. I recognize that as your ex-wife, you don't need my permission or my blessing with this new marriage scenario relationship. So I know my place. It's important to know your place. Your ex does not need your permission to have a relationship with somebody else. They do need your consultation with conversations with regards to your children. Something big like this. We are respectful enough that I appreciated him calling me to tell me about his relationship, and then his intended plans. I would have been livid, truly livid, to have found out from the kids days later. So I then proceeded to add on to my statement that while I know that you don't need my approval or my blessing, what's important to me is being aligned around how we raise the children and things we try to instill in them. I like to talk to her and just meet her just so she knows me, I know her, and share with her what's important to me with regards to the children. I found that that was really the only thing I really need to talk about with her. Part of me was like, I wonder what she looks like. Is she a professional? Is she not? I wonder what her vibe is going to be like. Sometimes you can tell people's vibe just when you meet them, like solid, or you'd be like, no, eccentric, and just kind of all over the map. So I asked if we could set up time on Friday in preference of them meeting her. So yeah, fast forward to Friday. I was deep into work and not even thinking about what time I had arranged to talk to her or him. So I'm sitting there and my phone rings on a FaceTime with my ex's name coming across, and I realized, oh, must be them calling. So FaceTime starts, say hello, and I, introduce myself, and I felt this like tension energy coming from her, and I'm like, girl, bring it down, like seriously. This apprehension. And I was like, yeah, I appreciate it. Nice to meet you. I just wanted to talk with you and learn a little more about you, and I'm happy to share more about myself. And she's like, well, what do you want to know? What do I want to know? You're entering my children's life, and you ask me okay, don't come off like that. What do you think is important? I knew that she had been married before. I knew that she had kids. I'm like, you're not new to this. He's not new to this. Like, let's let's back up. So I literally paused and I said, hey, let me tell you that I didn't know about you or this relationship until yesterday, right? So I don't know anything about you. And I'll share with you what I shared with him. You don't need my approval. You don't need my blessing. I'm not here to give it. I don't pretend that's my place. It's not my lane. And when I said that, I perceived that she softened a little bit. You never know what your ex has said about you to other people. I mean, facts are facts. Facts are facts. And when you put energy and emotions around those facts, it completes everything. So yeah, we had our little chat, and she also asked, no, I asked her if she'd ever met my children. She said no. I said, well, let me tell you about this. So I described them to her, and the type of people I want them to be, the kind people, self-assured, confident, Use your affirmations. Like, I want my girls to know that they are amazing. And I would like the adults in their life to reinforce you are an amazing person. I don't need my children around toxic energy. You're a bad kid. You always do something wrong. That's not going to work for me. That's not going to work for me. And then on top of that, I was talking to her about how they interact with each other, and then she asked me if there's anything that's off limits. I appreciated this question. I very much appreciated the maturity of the question, because I'm sure there's so many specifics. Don't talk about this topic. Don't talk about drugs. I'm not going into all that. Like, you got to use your own judgment as a human being and as an adult of what's appropriate for children. But, not all of us have good judgment. So I did offer it to her. I said, you know what I need? I need you to not talk about me. Don't talk to me about me as a person. Don't talk to them about me as a mother. Don't badmouth me, because that's not appropriate. It's disrespectful. And I'm going to do the same for you. I'm not going to badmouth you or disrespect you. And don't talk about the circumstances of our divorce. My kids have come home several times saying, Daddy said this, and trying to hold me accountable for topics that they should not even be privy to. So I share with her, it's like, adult business is adult business. Even if they ask, leave the children out of it. Find age-appropriate ways to say, I hear you're curious, but that's just not a topic we're going to discuss because it's not appropriate for your age. That's things that me and your father, et cetera, will discuss and handle. I don't need their mind bogged down with, Mommy did this, Daddy did this is how Daddy feels about Mommy, this is how Mommy feels. Like, let them be children. Let them be children. So I shared that. I'm pretty sure my voice is breaking up a little bit because it's very emotional for me when I hear my children having to carry the weight of adult business. All right, so we're going into this new blended family situation on his end. I'm nowhere near that space, nor do I want to be. I don't desire for that myself right now. And back to that word of shock. Then not surprised, because you know your people, and prayerful. I'm prayerful that God will cover them with safety. I'm prayerful for the discernment of their mindset. I'm prayerful for the discernment of the adults in their lives. And I just pray that he keeps them safe. I pray that God will keep them safe, because I cannot be there, but God is always there. And as we embark into blended family, Dad's remarrying, I pray that God gives me the discernment of the words to use, the words to say, how to see and feel what they may be feeling, and to put my arms around them to just let them know that they are always loved, that I love them, that their father loves them, and that, assumingly, the woman he is bringing into their lives also will love and care for them as well. There are so many questions that can come up as a result of remarriage, blended families. How do you know when to introduce your children to your new love or partner, which is probably a whole sit-down podcast with friends like, girl, what do you think? How did you navigate? What questions did you have? How did you check out this? So this red flag versus that, and then when you know to trust your gut versus to look more, there's so many levels to this, so many levels. I'm gonna have to set up a whole conversation, not just a car conversation, a whole panel conversation with the friends, talking about the real, and just really giving some real talk around that. I am grateful to my God for my peace. And my shirt says, but first, let me thank God, because I thank God for the discernment and the peace of mind that I have had in these last few years, because I'm a year past my divorce, 14 months past my divorce, 2 years past separation, And just this whole new love doesn't bother me. And for some it does. They're like, how did he move on? How long was he with her? Was it before our divorce? Was it after our divorce? All this, but it don't matter. He's not yours anymore. You're not his. Let it go. Let your person be remarried. Let them have their life, and just pray that God covers you and covers them and covers the children if there are any from the marriage. That's all you can ask for. So this is what I'm reflecting on today. And like I said, there's so many more layers, so many more topics that can come out of this one. But for today, we're just going to talk about my shock around my ex getting remarried. But yes, congratulations to him. I will do, like my daughter said, I'll be minding my business over here in my lane, living my life, looking, if I want, looking for a relationship that works well for me. And if I don't want, being happy in the peace that singleness can offer. All right, guys. Hope you have a great day. That's all for now. Bye.